I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Yo, what's up? Happy Sunday. Hope you're all enjoying your day. Hope you all had a nice Saturday. Hope you all had a better Saturday than I did. I'm sorry. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a better Sunday than I did. I went 1-4 with my bets tonight. Yeah, not a great Sunday. Knicks got crushed too. And Chase Briscoe. I don't know if you guys watch any of the NASCAR race, but so Chase Briscoe he was in third, then he got into second place, hit the wall. I had him to win at plus 5,000, top 10 plus 250. But it wasn't like on the last lap or anything. There was like 30 laps left, so. But yeah, I did cash a tennis golf bet though. Aaron Rye, top 20. That was nice. So yeah, before we get into a couple things, first off, we're here to collect. So apparently someone in the comments lost the bet to Trevor and he needs to pay up.
Oh, Illinois.
Yeah, he says, waiting for Trevor. I owe him some money off a bet we made of the Pump Fake pod.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised he's honoring up, but no, we're good. We'll call it even, Illinois. It was fun little juice anyway. He didn't believe in the Hogs, man. He had no faith in the Hogs.
Oh, hate to see it. Trevor loves a good hog. He's a hog whisperer. So. You got to trust Trevor when it comes to the Hogs.
Speaking of Trevor, it's nice to have him here. He did not do drugs tonight. He made it. Trevor missed the morning show, out all night doing drugs.
Yeah, it was a long one, you know. One thing leads to another. All of a sudden, your alarms are set for 9 p.m. instead of a.m. and you wake up late. Yeah.
All right, so we got 5 games queued up. I think it won't be a long one or anything. Oh, another thing, Trevor, you won the league.
Whoa! Big winner.
Let's go.
Show the man what he learned.
Arizona State money line definitely helped. Let's go.
Oh, that's a nice one. Those are nice.
Yeah, this is the new trophy.
I'm gonna mount it up here.
Just to give you a heads up, Helms won one, and apparently it broke in the mail. These are not expensive pieces of equipment here.
That's fine. If it does,
that's
I'll
on the
figure it
shipper.
out,
Beaver needs to do a better job of wrapping that shit.
He doesn't wrap it. The post office does. But anyway,
that's the problem.
Let's talk some college basketball here. First game up, UNC Wilmington, William and Mary.
Trevor, you're a little bit more of a CAA specialist than I am, but I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are because I don't know. I really want to take Wilmington here personally, but I don't know if I actually can do it.
Yeah, I mean, Wilmington, they lost back-to-back spots. I mean, Elon, not a good loss, and then Hampton beat them by fucking 13 yesterday. So, I mean, these are some tough losses for them. William and Mary, I know they had some injuries. They've gotten back healthier, 3 straight wins. This is a revenge spot for William and Mary, though, however, and they are at home. But I think Wilmington's laying points for a reason here, to be honest.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I think a lot of people are kind of thinking how I am. You know, they're playing better. It's a revenge spot. I'll take the points at home. But Wilmington has been one of the better teams in this conference the entire year. So I think this little skid to bad teams is going to be over. William & Mary is a respectable team in this conference this year. So I think Wilmington gets up and gets the road win here. It did open 1.5 also. So, you know, it's moving that way too. So I will probably find myself on Wilmington tomorrow. I do like the Wilmington team too. They made me some good money this year. So is William and Mary, but just a weird line.
I also think there's. Go ahead.
We're polling on Wilmington too, over 55%. Juice is on Wilmington. Chance Greer's on Wilmington. Also, Trevor, I think you have the wrong mic selected. I think your audio's.
Oh shit! Oh, here we go. There we go. We're good. My mic was swung behind my computer.
Yeah, there you go. Toast, do you agree?
Yeah, I do. The only thing I can really add, because he touched on the revenge spot and stuff, I do think that UNC Wilmington is significantly a much better team. And I think that we're getting this short number because William and Mary has played much better. And both these teams are up at the top of the CAA. But one thing that I will say is I think that both defenses are like similarly bad. Like both teams force turnovers, but as far as effective field goal percentage and whatnot, they're really not that great. So we just call the defense as a wash. Wilmington has a significantly better offense, and it's not even close. So it's just too many little things that point to Wilmington's way for me. So I don't know if I actually bet it. I wish I would have got the 1.5 earlier, but I definitely think that this number they're laying points on the road for a reason here.
Isn't the team at home that's catching points 13-0 at home?
I don't know if they have lost a home game actually.
Probably.
Yeah, they're undefeated at home this year and catching points.
Here?
Okay, yes, they are. I don't think that they've seen a team nearly as talented as UNC Wilmington at home this year. I mean, what? Charleston
doesn't play defense though. That's
Elon?
the issue.
Wait,
Elon's fallen off too.
Forecast.
I mean, that was
yeah. See, forecast said it. Take the words right out of my mouth. UNC Wilmington is fake sharp.
Oh my God.
We'll find out, but I mean, a home team undefeated this year catching points, a little odd.
Thank you, Trevor. Thank you.
You would think if it like -1 or something.
Should be free.
Well, people are betting Wilmington. We're polling Wilmington. Juice.
How many people are in our poll?
We're an accurate sample of the betting.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll stick with UNC. This time we're in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, on the road against Florida State.
North Carolina's hot.
So is Florida State, man. They just covered for me.
Florida.
Who cares
Florida
about losing? They covered.
Okay, sure. Okay, but
North
Carolina's going to get in the tournament. Everybody's going to get pissed off because they're going to play Duke in the last game of the year and they're going to win somehow. Just watch.
Yeah,
I think North Carolina's about to lose this game.
Really?
Trevor, he sees it.
Knowles up, baby.
Oh yeah, I just want to be clear. I'm not laying 2.5 with UNC. I just thought
sounded like you wanted to.
Sorry, no. I'm saying I truly believe that they're going to get in the tournament. And everybody's going to be pissed off. That's whatever. Go ahead.
I am with Toast though. In that point, UNC is going to beat Duke. They will get their lead back in that game. So yeah, take that nice money line price.
That's their avenue. That's their avenue into the tournament. They win that game, they're in. I guarantee it.
Yep. But this one, yeah, I like FSU here. Size, length, athleticism, they're playing better. I know Clemson beat the ever-loving shit out of them, but they hung with Louisville on the road too. I mean, Louisville put up 90 and they still hung in there. They were crazy comeback. I think they were down like 17 or something late, but they found their way back in. Like they didn't stop fighting. And I think this is a huge game for them. I mean, you got North Carolina coming in. North Carolina's feeling good. They just beat NC State and Virginia at home, walloped them. But they went to Syracuse, and that was a 6-point game. Like it was tight. They have not been good on the road. Florida State at home, feeling a little better. I'm going to be on FSU money line here. I mean, North Carolina just walloped these two teams. Now they're going to hit the road against a team that's perceived as a shitty team in FSU, and it's only going to be 2.5. Like, no, thank you. Give me the Noles. They're going to get this one done outright.
Forecast in the comments says North Carolina played 3 bums, 2 of them at home. Now a long road spot, Florida State all day. Sheed on North Carolina. Rochester says Florida State's tough. Illinois on Florida State money line. Grabenz, North Carolina, bro. I expect better from you, Grabenz, especially because he finished this week in the league like plus 8.8 units or something.
I was going to say, we should maybe respect him a little bit because we're almost getting to the point where can you find me a North Carolina ticket? We're getting to that point.
I found one. It's a guy in the comments named Wildcard.
All right. Attaboy, Wildcard. That being said, you can still put up Florida State for me. Like Trevor said, that one of the big things for me is that, like Trevor said, it's a height issue. I mean, Florida State, one of the biggest teams in the country. North Carolina, one of the smallest teams in the country. And like whoever it was in the comments said, Florida State over their last few games have actually played some decent competition. Again, this is all relative, but Wake Forest, Clemson, Miami, Louisville. I know that Wake Forest has won a couple games lately. I know that Miami's absolutely terrible, but at the same time, they've been playing better lately than they have in the past. So again, I think that they've been playing much better competition as well. Not to mention the fact that I don't think it really matters, but I will say that Florida State has Duke on deck. Again, I don't think that really matters. I don't think that seeding is going to matter for them. So I would take Florida State here at home.
No, I don't. Dwayne Davis says I've seen the sauce in somebody's comments on a podcast. No, I wasn't on his bad side. I was just joking. I don't. No, I was just playing around. I think they knew I was joking. At least I hope they did. It was the college experience guys. I think they knew I was playing around.
Oh,
There's no way
I saw that comment. Yeah, and to your point with Duke on deck, it's still North Carolina at the end of the day. Like they're not. They're not going to be looking past us whatsoever. They're probably going to be amped up, knowing they're not going to stand a chance against Duke.
I said that, and then because in my head I thought that Florida State was a little bit higher, but they're not. They're still like 3 games back or something like that of North Carolina in the standings. So anyway,
let's talk Big Ten ball.
Here we go.
This line makes me want to bet the Huskers.
I know it sucks. Still think this team sucks.
This is a candidate for fake sharp, though.
I mean, I guess I'm Trevor. I'm not talking shit because I know you have no affiliation.
I don't
with
think
Nebraska.
Michigan's good. I'll say it.
Okay. Well, they're at the top of the Big Ten, so they get a pass.
No, I know, but I'm saying I don't. Well, that's what I meant by.
They're not. They're not good.
They're not as good as their record indicates.
I 100% agree. Is Nebraska decent or not?
Though. They suck. I can't.
Nebraska?
I can't do this.
Yes.
I'm taking it down.
They're not great, but you get them at home. I know they had that skid versus those 3 home games they lost, and then they lost to Maryland at home. Okay, so be it. Like Maryland's a good team.
Should have lost. They could have lost to Illinois at home. Illinois took them to overtime, and I mean we're getting to the point where does Illinois stink?
Yeah, no, Illinois is bad. Especially yesterday, that was embarrassing. But,
oh my god!
Holy shit! But yeah, no, Nebraska at home. I'm seeing a +1 offshore here. I'm staring at, so it's flipped. I mean, it's -1.5 on DraftKings here. So
Michigan's laying on DraftKings.
Yeah, or Michigan's catching. Michigan's laying 1 on.
So flip towards Nebraska.
Here. I believe Nebraska opened as a favorite.
Hold on,
could I be wrong?
You just said they're still a favorite.
No, yeah, Nebraska flipped over to a favorite on
so
DraftKings.
They opened as dogs then.
Yeah, my bad.
So that means Nebraska's taking money right now.
These splits, it's only 16%, so I mean it's not much, but I mean it's just splits at the end of the day.
For what I'm seeing is all right. Let's just check out like Circa.
I don't think
Nebraska opened at So Circa opened at a pick, and now it's Nebraska -1. So there was a shift towards Nebraska. They took some early Huskers money. It looks like.
Yeah, I mean I lean Nebraska here, but something just tells me to take Michigan.
In a revenge spot.
Yeah, I mean I get it. Like I'll probably be on Nebraska just given the number and the spot and everything. Michigan coming off of the was that Michigan State loss on? Yeah, the Michigan State loss. They hit the road, and then they're back home against Rutgers. So just a weird travel spot all the way out to Nebraska here and then back home. Nebraska's got some dudes. I know they're a little beat up at times, but I think they can get it done. But at the end of the day, like Michigan's just got a better coach, better roster. But this number is just really, really weird. And Nebraska at home can really pop up minus those weird home losses this year.
So we're polling heavy on Michigan, meaning almost everyone watching clicked Michigan on the poll. I'm reading these comments. Michigan from Cybert. What's up, man? Juice, Wolverines by 7. The Illinois says the fact that Nebraska's favorite is pathetic. He's taking Michigan alt spread. Yeah, Michigan, Rochester. Michigan's too big. Yeah, it's all Michigan. I haven't seen a single person in the comments say they like Nebraska.
And Vlad Golden proposed to his girlfriend Friday after the game after an L.
Yeah,
so now, maybe he's not.
No,
not
it
locked
wasn't.
in.
No. If we were gonna talk about that, that was at fucking halftime. This piece of shit did this
way.
at halftime. I swear to God, that's what I read.
Sorry,
Halftime.
What is that?
No, I'm just saying he's a piece of shit. That's all I'm saying.
So wait, hold on. He got engaged at what?
Apparently mid-game.
At 20? 21 years old?
Yeah, he's Russian. I think he's probably like.
How is
23,
nobody in his
something
family like, don't do that?
I don't think they're in the States. I don't know.
Fucking kids these days, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, the only way I'd go is Nebraska.
Yeah, same here. I don't know. I agree with you 100%, Kyle, that I don't think that Michigan is that good. I just don't know what to think about Nebraska. Like, it's really hard for me to change my decision on if they're good or not, because besides, like I just talked about, they didn't look really good. They lost their first five of their last 7 games, or to start the conference year, or whatever that was. And then they had an overtime win against Illinois, and they won their West Coast trip with Oregon and Washington. I just don't really have anything that's really. I guess the Ohio State win is impressive, but besides that, when they've stepped up in competition, they haven't really looked good. And I do think that Michigan is significantly better than a team like Ohio State that they played at home, where they won that game by 8. But I do think Nebraska matches up well with them. This is.
Ooh, didn't even notice. I'm wearing a Huskers hat.
Oh yeah.
So what? Someone used to watch and have the record. Like Sauce is 6-1 when he bets the team whose hat he's wearing. Also, I always suspected that guy was just making numbers up, though.
That's fine. That's still fun.
I respect the effort.
My issue, yeah. My issue is like, I don't know if Nebraska. Nebraska is so bad rebounding the basketball. It's not even funny, and I think that could be a really, really big issue tonight or tomorrow night, whatever. I lean Nebraska just because I feel like the number's telling us something, but I don't know if I have the actual stones to bet it.
So Illinois is offended by our pick. He's typing in all capital. He's typing in all capital letters. He's saying, Nebraska lost to Penn State. Are you guys serious? Nebraska lost by 20 to Penn State.
Everyone has a stinker.
Yeah.
That's a
Michigan should be free then.
That's a
that's a short number.
That's a candidate for people calling college basketball rigged if Nebraska wins that.
It's just college basketball at the end of the day. Crazy shit happens.
The entire world. No, I'm not saying. I was saying that's one of those games where the heavy public's on one side. And and we'll get cleaned out if Casino will make a lot of money if Nebraska wins.
Yeah.
Well,
it's generally a good idea to be on the side that the books want to.
The public betting is not an accurate representation of the handle, but you get it.
When you're watching the game, when you're watching this game in the sports book, everybody's going to be pissed off, and you're going to see 5 guys walk to the counter with big fat stacks of cash and walking away. That's how that game is.
It's us.
Yeah, that's these guys.
Houston, Texas Tech in Lubbock. We got ourselves a game here.
We do have ourselves a game.
This is a fun one. I like Texas Tech in Lubbock. I like betting Texas Tech football in Lubbock a lot. It's one of my favorite pastimes. It's a really short number for Houston. So go ahead, guys. This is the game of the night. Talk about it.
It's Houston for me. I just think that they are a much better team, and I just don't. I honestly, I know that Texas Tech has played really well this year, but at the same time, I personally don't know if they're really that good. I know that they've played well, but again, when you play this Houston team, it's just it's a different type of animal. Not to mention the fact that I think that Texas Tech usually struggles with teams that don't turn the ball over. And that's one thing that Houston doesn't do at all. They're the number 1 team in the conference and not turning the ball over. They're the best offensive rebounding team in the conference. They're the best 3-point shooting team in the conference. Again, I just think that when you're playing Texas or when you're playing a team like Houston, you have to have everything going for you to beat them. And I just don't know if I trust the Texas Tech offense enough to be able to do that consistently. So it would be Houston for me. I don't think that this number is too crazy because Texas Tech has been that good. But again, just for me personally, Texas Tech is one of those teams where I just don't really know if they're as good as their record says there is. I know that Grant McCaslin has had decent success at North Texas, but this is a completely different animal. We saw them get booted last year in the first round. I'm sure they're a little bit better than last year, but again, I just don't really trust it. So I will be betting Houston tomorrow.
A couple things in the comments here. Mark's on Houston. Sheed is on Houston. G's on Texas Tech. Grabens is on. Oh, no, he didn't share a pick yet. Illinois is on Houston. Illinois likes the over, though. With these two teams, I was thinking under. 132.5 seems a bit high for a Houston Texas Tech game.
I actually don't hate that over, to be dead honest.
Really?
Just because both teams can shoot the three ball very, very well.
It's Houston, Texas Tech. It's going to be slow pace. Both teams can play defense. I would expect this to be like 129.5.
It's still the two best offenses in the Big 12.
So. Well, all right. And we got a comment here. Where was the other one? Jen, she says, isn't this a very similar situation to the Michigan-Nebraska game, except the line is flipped? Well, no, I don't think so, because Nebraska, Texas Tech is, you can like mention them in the same conversation.
Yeah,
as
I would say no. I would agree with that.
Texas Tech is good. Said. Nebraska
Texas Tech is legit good. That's why I made it like abundantly clear that was like my personal opinion about the team. So
yeah, like where would you make this line? Like 2.5, 3?
Yeah, I would. I circled 3 on my notes. Anything under 3, I would bet Houston.
Trev, are you with the Cougs here?
Absolutely not. I like Texas Tech here.
Such a jerk.
I like Texas Tech here. They did go into Houston. They handed Houston that L. But they were also.
I was surprised because you love the revenge angle. That's why I was so surprised.
I do. That. Tomorrow, I'm not liking it so much. So maybe we'll find out.
Hey, St. Mary's Gonzaga. It didn't work out for Gonzaga, so you never know.
No, they shout out St. Mary's and the Bennett Bros. Yeah, I like Texas Tech. I mean, they went into Houston already this year. They beat them, and they did it without JT Toppin and their coach. Both got ejected like immediately in that game before the first media timeout. Now they're going to be home. Both teams play great defense. Houston on the road gives up significant amount more points than they do, when they play at home. We also saw them go to Kansas and get that crazy fucking win because they can't inbound, or Kansas couldn't inbound the ball or hit a free throw. And then they go to Arizona. Arizona doesn't win because they don't make free throws late down the stretch and just can't make shots. Texas Tech's not going to have that issue. They're a really good free throw shooting team. And Houston at home, they also, they get away with, that defense more than they do on the road. Like they're going to send Texas Tech to the line a good amount. So I like Texas Tech to get this done. I think a lot of people are going to bank that Houston doesn't lose twice in the same year to a team, but this Texas Tech team is really good. It's at home. It's going to be lit. It's going to be crazy. I just don't see Houston. It'll be a good game, but I don't see Texas Tech, missing free throws and kind of giving this game away late like Arizona and Kansas did.
Give me something here, Trevor. You got a senior night, dollar beer night, T-shirt night.
Give me something.
There's going to be something. I mean, they got to have something for this.
I would assume they do something, yeah.
Texas Tech.
Depends on what that is.
What do we got? That's a game preview. No.
A blackout. Give me a blackout.
They haven't posted anything.
I just need something.
That means it's a surprise.
It might be surprise, yeah. I mean, it might be maybe there's free T-shirts. Maybe they're giving away free drinks for an hour before the game. I don't know, but there's nothing on their Twitter about this yet.
Wow.
They're keeping it under wraps.
I'm doing it.
Shame.
Lubbock up. Texas Tech plus 1.5. Copy and paste what Trevor said. That's why. All right, so on to the next game.
Okay.
Want to give a special shout out to Kansas. Everyone doubted it. I tried to tell you not to doubt Bill Self. I tried to tell you it was a get right spot. No one wanted to listen to me. Minus 14.5. You bet Kansas?
I did. I even told you in the Discord I'm in the foxhole with you.
Oh, yeah. No doubter. I think they won by 30. So this game comes down to one simple question. Is Kansas back? Because I'm not buying for a second that Colorado win over Baylor. Colorado sucks. So maybe I'm tempted to go right back to it with Kansas.
I am too, but I have another question. I have a question for you, actually. Will Kansas have the legs in this game? Because this is an absolutely terrible spot for Kansas. After playing in the mountain trip, then they fly home for one game, and now they got to fly back out to the end of the mountains and play Colorado. And then they have some days off after this one, but this is a brutal spot for college kids. Brutal spot. Just wanted to throw that out there because I really want to bet Kansas too. So
Trevor's going to go take Colorado.
Oh, yeah. Buffs up, baby. Just like Toast said, this spot is horrible. The Utah-BYU game, you come home, you have fucking 30-piece Oklahoma State. Congratulations. Now you're going to hit the road, go back to the mountains here. Colorado won their last 2 home games. They started to look pretty good. I believe they just played at Iowa State. 14-point loss.
I know for a fact they've covered 5 in a row, too.
Yep. Yeah, they're hot right now. They're hot. They played Kansas to what was that, a 12-point game at home in Kansas. And not to mention Kansas on deck after this. So they 30-piece Oklahoma State. They head to Colorado, coming home to Texas Tech, Houston, Arizona, alternating road and home spots from here on out for the rest of the season. They're not giving a shit about Colorado. They've already beaten them. Everyone's already crowning Kansas again because, they're fixed. They just beat Oklahoma State by 34 at home. Good luck. I think Buffalo's going to win this game. I think they're alive as hell.
Colorado coming off the win of their season.
Yeah, and this would be another feather in that cap. I mean, it's Kansas coming in. Like they'll be up. They'll be ready for this game. Kansas might be a little tired, overlooking a little bit with the given schedule that's coming up.
Overlooking it, man. They got to play catch up. They can't overlook anything.
Kansas?
They do have Tech, Houston, Arizona after this. Like, again, this is a shit
Even more so.
For
like,
Kansas.
they can't lose this game.
Oh, I'm not okay. Maybe they win, but it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty at all, and they won't cover this number. Colorado is 100% covering this game.
Toast
Put
Kansas
up for me. Put Kansas up for me. I'm going to wait to see what this number does, and I know that this sounds not the best way to bet, but if this number gets to 7, I'd feel even more confident. Just because I want to see them moving the number that way, because it starts moving down, then you get into that 5.5 number that we all really, really hate in college basketball. 6.5 is in that range too. So, I personally, and I'm on an island here, I think, with a lot of this, but I do think that Kansas is still a decent basketball team. They still have one of, if not the best coach in college basketball. So you can say whatever you want about what Kansas has done this season. And yes, it hasn't been great, but his record and resume speaks for itself. So if there's one team that's going to be able to go into March and be able to figure it out, Kansas is going to be one of them.
As far as line movement you referenced, there's really nothing. This opened at 6.5, and it's still sitting at 6.5.
And I would guarantee probably Kansas is getting like 90% of the action. That would be my guess.
You think so, though?
It's Kansas at 6.5 versus a publicly perceived terrible team in Colorado.
No, dude, people are taking.
But I think that Kansas is perceived pretty bad too.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's Kansas at the end of the day. Like, dude, they got to figure it out.
Think of how many people Kansas has burned in the last week.
Well, last week
Oklahoma at Utah, at BYU, at Kansas State. I mean, that's all I see. It's this fucking Kansas team. Bill Self's gonna get fired.
Oklahoma State was a super public dog on Saturday.
Yeah, and I think people are bought back in on Kansas, especially only 6.5. Come on.
What? Show me on the doll where Kansas touched you, Trevor. What did Kansas do to you?
I just don't like Kansas. Fuck Kansas.
No, I'm gathering that. I'm wondering why you have a personal disdain for Kansas.
I don't know. Just some of these blue bloods are just, they think they're all high and mighty. They think they're better than everybody else, and they've done nothing.
They are.
Yeah, Kansas. What have you done lately?
All right, let's read some comments and let's get out of here. We got Colorado's not winning. I think Trevor's right, says Illinois.
There we go, Illinois.
His opinion's not valid until he pays up. Forecast says Dickinson's going 4 for 19 from the floor.
Oh yeah, easy. He's gonna cry about some rebounds and shit. He's gonna get outworked by the I think that kid's like Mongolian or something. He's like 7'2", like 180. He's gonna get outworked by that guy.
Eddie Torres says
7'2", 180.
Eddie Torres says, what does it mean to fade a team? Fade means to bet against. So if you're fading Kansas, that means you're betting Colorado. You're betting against them.
And Trevor, he's 185. Okay.
Rodfather has
All
entered
right.
the chat. Rodfather says bet under in Kansas games after 2 straight games giving up 9 or less offensive rebounds. The under's 10-0 this year in such instances. Cybert's on Kansas. Jen says anything on the Hampton game. Now we just loaded up. It's Sunday night. We just loaded up a few. So no, I didn't load that game up. But all right, everyone. Go ahead.
Be careful of Stony Brook under double digits, boys and girls. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I'm staring at the game. Gotta bet it. It's a standalone day game.
All right.
Yeah, Illinois, just DM me if you want to pay up, but you don't have to. Giving me 10-1 in Arkansas money line was crazy.
Yeah, that was a crazy bet. He said
That's wild.
he put up $100 to Trevor's 10 on Missouri.
I respect it though. I respect it.
Yeah. And respect to come in and say, hey, I still owe you. So much
Yeah.
respect. Yeah.
Shout out,
Anyway.
Illinois.
All right, guys. See you all tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be back at midnight and all that. Hit me up.